This is just a recording to show you how to navigate the Information Regulator's website and how to register as an information officer and upload the PAIA report. So the easiest way to get to the Information Regulator's website is to do a Google search of Information Regulator, and the first hit that'll come up is the website of the regulator. And their website address is www.inforegulator.org.za. And this is then the website where you will be directed to. So in order to navigate to the eServices portal, which is the portal where you can create a login for yourself and where you will have to register as an information officer if you haven't done so already, is on the top right where you see the sign or the wording eServices portal. So if I click on that, it's going to navigate me to this page. So if you are not yet registered on this website, you have to register. If you are registered already, you can go to login. So I'm going to start with register and I'll show you what happens. So this is then where it's going to take you through a series of questions where you will have to provide information about yourself to register as a user on the platform. This is not the registration as an information officer. This is merely allowing you to have admin access to the eServices portal where you will register as an information officer and upload the necessary documents. So if you go through the questions and follow the prompts on screen, it'll take you through the whole registration process. Now, since I am registered already, I'm just going back to the home screen, which is what it looks like. So if I then go to services on top, one of those menus on top, I go to services, it's going to take me through to where I can register and do all the uploading. But I first have to log in. So when I click on login, that is my login details. And if I click there, it's going to ask me for an OTP. Now the OTP is part of the authentication to ensure that it is a legitimate person that logs in using my credentials. I have now typed in my OTP and clicked on proceed, and it now has logged me into my myself as a user on the portal. So this is then where it just gives us stats and quick links over there. But the easiest way then to navigate to where we have to upload everything is to click on the services tab at the top. And if I scroll down, it's going to give me about 11 different things that they can either help us with or assist with what we need to do. So what you need to do at the moment is register an information officer. So if we click on the tab Information Officer, it's going to take me to where I can either do a new registration, where I can view my organization, where I can download my certificate as an information officer or my company's one. And then they also have a very, very helpful how-to guide. And I do suggest that you download the how-to guide to go through this process. So I'm going to show you, if you click on new registration, it's going to ask whether you are a public, a private, or a private political party, and most of you will be a private organization. Then you need to select whether it is a CIPC registered enterprise, in other words, a legal entity that's not a person, or whether it's another type of private organization. So for the purposes of this, I'm going to click on sole proprietorship or other private organizations, and that's where I click. Then it's going to ask me questions about my organization and take me through the steps of registering as an information officer. I will not be able to show you the whole process due to it requiring real information, but the how-to guide. So if I just go back to the how-to guide, this how-to guide will also take you through the steps. It's a PDF document that you can download. So that's the first thing that you would need to do. I'm going to go back to services where I have the options of what they can assist me with. And then the next thing that you need to do as before the 30th of June is submit an annual report. So the annual report is something that needs to be submitted every year. On the 30th of June is the deadline, and the the period that is referred to is your 2024-2025, the year that they make reference to, 1st of April to 31st of March. And you submit the information for that year. It opened on the 1st of April and it's closing at the end of June. So it says that the system status, the submission is open. So what I need to do then is you can follow the how-to guide. Once again, a very, very helpful guide to assist you with that process. And you would have to click on a new submission there. Now, it shows that I have already submitted my PAIA report for the year, so I cannot take you through another setup process. But if I just go back and show you the how-to guide, the how-to guide is really helpful in terms of that it takes us through a step-by-step process, and it takes us through a step-by-step guiding process on how to do that submission, okay, with screenshots and images of the whole process. So it's really, really straightforward. And most of you, my suspicion is that for the majority of you, you would not have had a formal PAIA request. And then what you will fill in under this is the questions that they will ask, or some of the questions, and you will type in 0. Depending on your response on the number of requests, etc., it might give you a follow-up question. But for the majority of you, if you've not had any PAIA requests, it will be a 0. And this is a very, very straightforward process where we merely have to report on stats and numbers. So that is all that is relevant. And then you submit the document, and that is what you need to do then before the 30th of June. I'm just going to go back to the eServices portal. So if I go back to all the services, over here you will also see a guide on checking, and it's a self-checking or self-assessment to check if you are compliant with POPI in terms of what POPI requires, and the same with the PAIA, what PAIA requires as well. Then also we do need to have a PAIA manual. So if you click on the PAIA manual tab, it's not something that you have to, you can upload it to their portal. There's no deadline for that, but it needs to be available on your website, or a physical copy of that in your office. And it's got templates for a public body and a private body template as well. So the private body template is the one that you will likely use to help set up your own PAIA manual. So that's just a quick overview then of the Information Regulators portal and where you need to complete all the necessary things before the 30th of June this year. Thank you.